So Kaylee and I watched a couple of Netflix original shorts today, and they were both lame as hell. So let's talk about Disco Inferno. This one starts with a woman who, I guess, okay, it's hard to talk about this without spoilers because
Yeah.
they're shorts, right? Really, I mean, this just has to do with like what the theme of 2023 is. It's the year of the mother. And as I said, I mean, this is, I guess we're just talking spoilers because there's no other way to talk about this freaking
Yeah.
movie. So it opens with what I assume is a woman who couldn't have children of her own, so she killed a mother and stole her child, regretted it like heavily right after because she still got blood on her,
Yeah.
and then brings it to a church, drops it off there.
Yeah.
And then we flash forward 20 years, and we've got our main character, played by the chick from Fuller House. Uh, and she is like entering a dance competition with her boyfriend. And she is then kind of like goes to the bathroom. It's revealed that she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets kind of like stuck in this possessed state where she can only see the other side. And
Yeah.
on the other side is like her mother and like the past coming to haunt her. I think it's her mother, like something,
We
some kind of
assumed
demonic
it was, yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she like, I don't know, it like jumps out at her. Her boyfriend kind of comes in and wakes her up. And then she's like, I just have something to tell you. And he's like, okay. And then they like go and dance.
Right.
The end.
But she's like possessed
But yeah, and
at
then
the
at the
end.
end, her eyes go black. This is just it. I honestly, these are the kinds of things. This and the other one we watch. I watch it, and they're so simplistic in concept. They're
Mm-hmm.
so simplistic in execution. They're so simplistic in like the finality of everything, the climax, all of that stuff. It just really begs the question of like, what is this? What is this trying to say
Mm.
outside of obvious stuff? And what's the point of making it? Like, what
Mm.
is why would Netflix, if Netflix actually gave them money for this just feels like make anything, right? This is just like content for content's sake. We need something for Halloween time,
Yeah.
and we don't want to spend a lot of money, so we're just gonna you know up our number of content pieces that we have available for people to watch and label them as like horror for spooky time so that people can just watch them. We don't care if they're good. We don't care if there's anything to them. We don't care if they have anything to say. We don't care. Just
Yeah.
make it so people will have something to watch. And it just, I don't know, like, do I think the filmmakers involved in this and the actors and everything actually were like passionate about this and had something to say? I don't see how.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a very like meaningful story personally. Like you said, I think it's a really simplistic concept. There were some things that I liked. Like I think that the cinematography was pretty good, and I liked the lighting that was used in this. It kind of reminded me of like Suspiria or some like Italian films.
Okay.
So I appreciated that, like the neon colors and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
it looks good.
But
It looks professional.
yeah, as far as the story though, I do feel like it was just not very deep, and not that you're expecting like a 17 minute or whatever it is, short film to, but at the same time I don't know that that's fair to say, because I've seen short films like on YouTube that are more creative, scarier, and have like more meaningful storylines.
Absolutely.
Like I keep thinking of The Birch. Have you seen that one?
Hmm.
That one's great,
I
and I
watched
feel
the
like
TV show on Facebook.
that's right, yeah. So the short though is really cool and concept, and I don't know, but there's just so many really cool ones on YouTube that I'm like, these guys especially with the budget, like if Netflix is giving you a budget to make something, I feel like you should, but at the same time you might also be limited by like what Netflix is going to let you do. Like maybe they have very specific, like guidelines.
I doubt it.
So I don't know, but
From everything I've heard, Netflix gives filmmakers carte blanche, and that
mm,
can be for good or bad, right? Sometimes studio interference actually makes a film better,
mm,
and sometimes it doesn't. Anybody who says that it's one or the other always is just full of shit. Like there are movies that you find out what the director wanted to do, and then you find out what you got, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so glad the studio interfered, because what they were talking about is nutso crazy shit, and it ended up being something, and then of course at the end of the day it's all an opinion.
yeah,
And maybe the nutso thing that I'm referring to in these films are something that some people would be like, no, I much rather have that version. So regardless, all I'll say is that both this and the other one we're going to talk about after is they're just pointless. They're just insanely basic concepts that we've seen a million times, and they offer literally nothing new to them at all.
yeah,
And this 3.9 it has on IMDb is totally warranted,
yeah.
because there's nothing here to sink your teeth into, to like, there's nothing
Get excited
scary,
about, or
there's
yeah,
nothing intriguing, there's nothing shocking, there's nothing interesting, there's nothing.
yeah,
That's it. I got nothing else to say.
yeah. Me either.
Yeah.
So
Why this had to be set during the disco era? Why
I
this had to
know.
be like, you know what I mean? That's just an aesthetic choice. But as I said, everything
Yeah,
just feels so bland and basic, and like, AI generated.
yeah,
Or
pretty
it's just kind of
much.
like, nah, just give me a quick script, 10 seconds. What is it? Okay, let's just shoot this.
Right.
Yeah, super lame,
Yeah.
but good cinematography, so
Hmm.
A plus, and the acting's good. I mean,
Oh
there's
sure.
nothing
Yeah,
wrong
the
with the
acting's fine.
actors, but
It's just the story that we're
terrible.
like we don't like.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.